So, everyone's favorite controversial UFC fighter, Sean Tarzan Strickland, is in the news again for an interesting part to play in a debacle featuring some kids who were ding-dong ditching his house. And his main response was to pull out a firearm, and that's how he handled it. And obviously this is polarizing. And the thing about Sean Strickland is, there tends to be love him or hate him. There's no in-between where you're just non-biasedly looking. And that's like a thing, not just with Sean Strickland, but with people altogether. Is they're so polarizing with the way they're going to view you. They either all love you and all pump up your ego, or they disrespect you, spit on you, all that stuff. There's really, that's just the way we have tended to evolve in the year 2024. But Sean Strickland, this is one of those times where I don't completely hate him, but I do see where the criticism comes for what he did. And look, I understand that he's had this happen where people come to his house before. There was like an incident with, I think, a burglar where he did the same thing. I believe he came out with like a shotgun or something like that, and chose to not take excessive action, but he did give a warning of sorts. I believe this happened like last year, if I'm remembering it correctly. But this time around, I think there's a lot of different ways you can handle it with some children playing a prank. Granted, the prank is super annoying. I get it. No one likes to be ding-dong dish. It's 90s. And kids can be annoying. I understand. Children try to push the envelope, especially nowadays, to see how much they could get away with. And it's testing for adults. So when I see Sean Strickland act like that, I get it, why he came to that conclusion, but I don't agree with the conclusion. You could have used other methods. You could have just came out there without any sort of weapon, just your bare hands, because some kids aren't going to do much. Could have called the police. That would probably be the more responsible thing to do. Because, look, even from a adult perspective, when people are trying to get you into what would be a high school scenario, people like to egg you on. The more responsible thing to do would be, even if you want to answer the call in the low road, like, just get the authorities down and say, look, this guy's harassing me, because it only ends in more legal trouble for you, and it's not worth whatever public scrutiny. So to notify the authorities and not answer your door at night, because I know that sounds a little paranoid, but me personally, when someone's messing around at night and knocking on my doors, I don't answer it. That's when home invasions happen. But although there's a lot of different avenues that could have been taken that would have not ended up in Sean getting under this public scrutiny for this short amount of time, I would have to say that this is bad for the Strickland fan base, because now they can't really defend them, or else they look like they're making excuses. Because I get Sean. He is a story of triumphing through dysfunctional households, massive amounts of trauma, and rising above just a heck of an upbringing. And you got to give him credit for what he's risen above. I'm really happy that he became champion. I'm happy he defeated Israel Adesanya. It was just an underdog story of triumph where I couldn't help but love him after that. However, when you see a bastion for trauma survivors like Sean Strickland, because he is a voice for people I've suffered trauma before, so I highly resonate with Strickland and what it's like to live with demons. I don't want to be represented as somebody who can flip to irrationality at the drop of a hat, because despite all the things I've been through in my childhood, I try to keep my cool. And sometimes it's harder than most. Sometimes I really want to lash out. Sometimes when people are testing my patience, I understand. It's hard. It's a test. But when I lash out, I can make other people who have had misfortunes in life look worse and make us look like we're just ticking time bombs. So I say that speaking from the heart, and I don't think Sean should be given any sort of suspension. I still think he should go through with his fight with Paulo Costa. I've heard rumors of suspension. But Sean, man, come on. You are better than this. You are a good dude. Deep down inside, you're not an evil person. When you're fighting monsters, don't become a monster. Peace.